Untouchable, Sage Mo, G Mac. What's up? Badwag? I don't want to mispronounce your name. I don't know. Milestones. What's up, you guys? Top Debt. I'm in Tech. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Your engine number 9 was the first in the building. Lakeisha and Orfella and Lily's grandbaby. Hey, y'all. I just wanted to say hi.
Yes, we're so happy to be back. We've been on vacation and doing all kinds
of stuff. In the building.
Yes.
Turtle Clan in the building. What's up, y'all? Girly in the building. Hey, y'all. All right.
Okay. All right. Y'all know we love y'all. Okay, we're gonna get started talking about
we can't get started till we let Dulcinea talk because I done already cut her off and then send Dot down a whole nother lane. Now we gotta come back.
Dulcie,
I already spoke. It's cool.
Dulcie do. Okay, let's get started talking about the most incredible, famous man in the world. Drum roll. Carrot head. No, Trump. And his executive orders and what he done swooped up change. So everybody on the panel happy with his changes?
They ain't done yet. Can't nobody. They can be happy with what he done so far, but he ain't done.
He just getting started.
What you say, Nene?
He just getting started.
But are you?
Yeah, he dropped 68 of them in less than 30 days. He dropped 68 executive orders. But yeah, so far, so good.
He dropped like 50 on the first day, didn't he?
Right.
Many.
Many. Y'all, I'm going to say the first thing that I was it's two things that I was. One, I was negative. I was upset with it. I tried to bring that up to you earlier, Rod, about how he let all them people out of jail and this wiped away their charges like that. And was saying that they was holding them hostage. How long was it actually? 3 years?
And was Sister Freedom. They was. I'm sorry. They should have been here before.
But wait a minute. Even if Trump, which I thought told him to do it, I thought Trump was a part of it.
You ain't never look at them videos I sent you.
I know, but I'm talking about prior to that. Okay, I'm talking about prior to that.
Wait, you talking about those people be tortured?
Okay. Let's dig into what we're looking at.
What we talk about?
But is that my boy, Ben Andre? I missed you. I missed you. Wait a minute. But they still was wrong. We're gonna not try to act like
No, stop. So Freedom. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet and let you explain it because
listen. On the lines of demarcation, on the longitude, latitude, DC is directly the opposite side of Hollywood. What that mean? That means that they're giving us theater and stage shows on one side, and they're giving us political satire and philosophical bullshit on the other side.
Speak on it.
Nothing you see going on in DC should ever ruffle any of your feathers because it ain't got nothing to do with us.
Right.
What Trump is doing in DC right now have more to do with us than the whole 200 and however many years they've been calling this place America. What he's doing, he's the CEO, like them city managers that came in 2008 and started liquidating all of the city assets because the city was closing down. He's closing the corporation. They have to close the corporation, but they can't close it without knowing what they got. All of the executive orders, that's just news to give you something to talk about while they go in there and put together Doge and sick their watch Doge on somebody and watch him go find out all of the frauds that have been defrauding the people using our money to manufacture inflation and overtaxing us in order to keep us impoverished as much as possible so we can never really come together economically because they're always attacking us in one form or another. Ain't none of these people supposed to be here. The judges don't belong here, they belong to England. The lawyers belong to England. They are all barristers.
Mm-hmm.
The Office of Land Grants and Land Patents, that's the landlords of England. They don't belong over here. We've been normalized into the Europeans' royal pattern of governance.
Mhm.
Over there, the caste system wasn't skin color; it was economics. Over here, the caste system is skin color, which affects the economics. We not falling for none of that no more. Because all of it, what we seeing, Trump dismantling the corporation like he supposed to. Tear it down. They gotta go. The United States is a corporation. It's not our government. It's an interim government, a police state instituted in an interim, what they call occupation, while both sides of the war try to settle the conflict.
Well, okay, so if you see something wrong, right, and you know that it's wrong, and you want to get in touch with Trump, right, or in touch with Congress to try to change some situations that just don't make no sense, how would you go about doing it?
Anything that I would try to change, I would try to change it as close to the grassroots level as possible. DC, when you get to DC, you fall into a cesspit of lobbying,
Mm-hmm.
backbiting, underhand payments, backdoor deals. There's nothing over there that's going to change nothing for us on our day-to-day life.
Well,
They're not going. They're
Yeah,
not going to.
something big, like.
Can I chime in real quick for a second and touch on that?
Go ahead.
Especially being from DC, because right now what's been going on is that like our mayor, she's under investigation. The entire city council was under investigation, and that's why they're trying to step in and abolish the Home Rule Act, because Home Rule gives DC the full-fledged permission to pretty much run the city. But now they're trying to go into a process of taking it back over and it being federally run. I think the last time that happened was in like 95 or something, if I'm not mistaken. But all of these allegations are coming out around people who are supposed to be in these agencies and supposed to be doing work. For example, they have something called violent interrupters. These types of things that try to stop crime in our city, but instead it's people taking kickbacks and money instead of actually doing what they're supposed to do in terms of making sure that they stop, or help stop crime or help stop these kids from killing each other. But that's not what's been going on. So it's like when you have a corrupt situation going on, I mean, I don't know what else that they're supposed to do other than to step in the way that they are trying to right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's how I see it. Like, I mean, living here and seeing it, like, it's a whole different ball game when you're right here in the middle of all of it. So I just kind of wanted to kick, kind of.
And it's not even DC no more. It's the military. It's the what is it called? The military something, Washington military something. It's not DC no more though.
Well, okay, the issue I was talking about, well, I work with a lot of elderly people, sick people. And what I cannot understand is young people are allowed to get Medicaid. You know what I mean? That's not working or what have you, or even that is working, that pays completely. They don't have no bill. It's zero. You know what I'm saying? That medical medicines, whatever they need, going to any type of doctors, taking care of it. But the elderly have Medicare, right? Medicare only pays for like part. It never hardly pays for the whole situation with the
Part A and Part B, yeah.
Understand why it's backwards, where the elderly people who are on fixed incomes, you know what I'm saying, has Medicare and they can barely pay their bills with their fixed income. And you got them on Medicare, which have to pay co-pays and sometimes it don't pay for their insulin. Sometimes it doesn't pay for everything that an elderly person needs. And most of them have fathers that have fought in wars and all kinds of it. And I think it's backwards. You would think that the elderly people would get the Medicaid where their things are paid up because they can't afford to pay it. They got high co-pays and all this here. It's backwards. And I've been trying to figure out.
A lot of elderly people get SSI and stuff too, Sister
That's
Freedom.
what I'm saying.
People still get retirement, a lot of different things. And I think that does go into play when they're trying to figure out how much you pay for a copay or whatever the case may be. But I'm not saying it's fair, but I'm just saying usually that's kind of what it is because they getting a cute coin now.
No, it's no.
Only the ones.
Working with the elderly, I see.
Yeah, only the elderly that have a retirement package. They have their retirement insurance intact.
Right.
But that's why this is being exposed the way it is right now, Sister Freedom, because of the fact that Social Security is supposed to work like that, like Sharice is saying, but they've been dipping and dabbling in that Social Security. They've been doing that since FDR, of being like, hey, you're doing this so when you retire, you'll be set because we're putting this money in the side for you. But they're using the money like what Elon is exposing. They've been taking this money. They have people that are 300 years old that are getting checks out of nowhere. Who are these 300-year-old Moses people that are getting Social Security checks? It's people, it's the government dipping into those funds, taking those money out, and that's why there's not money for actual people at the end of the day, because the government is being exposed for taking that Social Security. Because so they should just let us hold it ourselves if it's like that.
Everybody doesn't have, like, some people are even young, but they're disabled, like paralyzed, right? And they got them on a fixed income. If you're on a fixed income, most of the time you don't get Medicaid, you get Medicare. It kind of doesn't matter. From what I'm seeing, it doesn't matter all the time how old you are to get, when you are considered disabled or what have you. And that money, if you didn't put any money in, that you're going to get what they're going to give you. Some people only get $900 or $700 a month. That's not enough for them to take care of themselves.
But Congress has got millions from that fund, is the point.
I'm trying to figure out what I can do to start something to help the elderly people to be able to still keep their homes, because they're losing their houses. They're losing their things because they're on fixed incomes and they just can't afford nothing. It's really bad for the elderly, and that's what I'm trying to focus on now. And I was doing, what kind of ideas that anybody could give me on how to approach it, because this is nationwide. It ain't something that's just happening in Delaware. It's happening where elderly people are complaining about this nationwide, and it doesn't seem like nobody is listening to them. Even when Velda Potter was running for mayor here, she was complaining about how the elderly was being treated. And it's just a backward situation. And I'm trying to see what type of something I can start or go at it. They can't pay their bills. Even if they got $1,500 a month, if their mortgage is $900, their electric bill is $400 or $500. You know how it is in the wintertime. What do they have left? They can't pay co-pays. It's just a backward situation. So
it was designed to make elders spend their savings on medical support. That's why it's like that. The purpose of it and the intent behind it is that the elderly, by the time they pass, they should be broke. They shouldn't have any. They shouldn't have any. I ain't saying it's right. I'm telling you what it was designed for. And if you watch what's going on now, their ass has been audited. Right.
That they will take, if they need to go in a nursing home, they will actually take their houses and put them in nursing homes and just like they. That's
another sharecropping scheme. That's another sharecropping scheme.
Yeah. But
But that's
that's where the community comes into play at, right? Like how you're thinking of troubleshooting ideas, right? That's where the nonprofits come in. That's where the grants come in. That's where those community types of organizations come in to act as an insulator. Because I think one thing we have to always remember is that we're operating within a system. And, like Rod is saying, right? Like you have to think of it as what was the system designed to do, you know? And so when you come to whether or not it's right, that's a moral question, right? We know it's not right, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
So in terms of just a solution, it would come from the community. But
Right.
I wanted
I
to
like
get back to
that.
the
I like that. I like that.
I wanted to get back to that the executive orders and stuff, because I know Trump has been definitely on a roll with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been really sure he's
He been running it up, man. I'm
He's been
telling
rolling them motherfuckers
you.
out. Okay, your man's just been rolling them.
Then there's a reform for the elderly already. A lot of the things that people are asking for, they just haven't read these executive orders because Trump
Right.
is working on it. But they've had the money tied up in all this corruption, so that's the point, Sister Freedom. I'm saying he's working on it, but they have to find out where these funds have been going to cut them in the works as you speak for exactly what you're talking about, Medicare for the
Right.
elderly. So they will
Mm-hmm.
get
Yeah.
vouchers and they will not have to come out of pocket for their things. Trump is working towards that.
I hope.
So I wanted to just go because I'm not clear about all them damn executive orders your man's been rolling out, because it's been a lot, right? I don't know if you guys can see it because I'm sharing the screen, so I'm not looking at you. Wait, hold on. And what's up, y'all? Coming in the chat. Make sure I hit the like button, please, please. All right. So these are the 37 executive orders that he signed between January 20 and January 27th within the first week, right? And so, hold on. Can y'all see it? I'm sorry. I'm trying to okay. So, Rod, if you hear anything that you want me to stop on, let your girl know, or anybody on Cherise, Dulcie, anybody, Nisha, if y'all see anything y'all want me to just stop on, let me know. All right. But I'm looking at some of these executive orders, because oftentimes, like as I've been hearing it, it's been like a lot of fear mongering, like, oh my God, he's doing this, he's doing that. So I like to look at exactly what are some of these executive orders that he's been rolling out, like what is it for, right? So let's see, on January 20th, Unleashing American Energy, what it's about. This order encourages energy exploration and production on federal lands and waters. That's important. That's important. Okay. Including offshore, promoting critical minerals as well as fossil fuels. It lays out a policy to promote true consumer choice by removing regulations that favor electric vehicles, as well as safeguarding the freedom to choose among household appliances, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Because President Trump has long criticized efficiency requirements. So it reverses a number of Biden era environmental orders, because, Biden was really big on like the climate change and all of that kind of thing. So it reverses a number of Biden era environmental orders and calls for a freeze on the disbursement of some congressionally allocated funds while the administration reviews whether they're compatible with the new policy direction, right? So that's dealing with American energy. Okay. Another one, I'm going to skip that one because that one deals with energy again. So I'm going to skip that. Putting America first in international environmental agreements. In this order, as he did in his first administration, Trump is withdrawing the United States from the Paris Climate Accord and the Biden administration's U.S. International Climate Finance Plan. Rod, do you know anything about this, the Paris Climate Accord?
Not specifically, but you got to remember the first Paris Accord that established the United States, it didn't have nobody from over here on that signature that's organic to this land.
Mm-hmm.
We know it as a Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
That's a fact.
But it was a ceasefire agreement between the French and the English to establish a working method for extracting our wealth. That's why they send more wealth overseas than they spend at home. That don't make sense to me. That's like living in your mama house using all their stuff up, but you send all of your money over to help all of your little girlfriends around town, and you won't spend none at home.
Right.
That's all they've been doing.
Y'all
50
better
Right.
million
not do
dollars
it.
was diabolical.
Now
Like you
this one here, this last one. Sorry, Sharice. I'm sorry,
no,
baby.
go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. I was just saying $50 million in condoms or whatever they said was going out to Gaza was crazy.
Man, they was paying $2,000 a cup for a cup of coffee. I'm like, what? They got gold in that coffee?
Okay.
Man, that
That's just
coffee better make
ridiculous.
their ass smarter because what?
So now here's two that I want y'all, because this is I'm dealing with the DEI, and I know that there's a number of like boycotts going around that we are supposed to be boycotting, like not supporting Target, Walmart on February 28th. No one is supposed to spend any kind of money whatsoever. You guys heard about that?
No.
So
I
this is
haven't, but I don't have no faith in that stuff.
No.
So this one is reforming the federal hiring process and restoring merit to government service. This order is aimed at increasing the overall efficiency of selecting and recruiting government employees. Agencies are directed to enact a process that prioritizes candidates committed to government efficiency and the ideals of our American public without consideration of race, sex, or religion. Okay? And even though he had planned to overhaul the DEI, there was a federal judge that blocked it. So it's not out yet. It's in court. What do you guys think of that? What do you think about his move to end hiring based on race, sex, or religion?
Wait a minute. Repeat that, Dots.
One of his executive orders, right? And this goes directly to this whole DEI, right? Department of is to increase diversity into federal positions, right? So one of his executive orders is aimed at increasing the efficiency of selecting and recruiting government employees. Agencies are directed to enact a process that prioritizes candidates committed to government efficiency and the ideals of our American public without consideration of race, sex, or religion. A federal hiring plan is due to agencies within 120 days. So no longer can, how before when you would apply for jobs or certain federal jobs, state jobs, and they would say, are you, they used to even ask, are you a minority? Or they'll ask, like, what your race is. This is saying that they should play no part of it. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I know that when the matriarchy come in, it's going to be the best person for the job that's applying for the job. It's not going to be based on what you look like.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Or what your sex is, or what your, if you have pronouns and
I already knew he done put a whole
You signed executive order, it's only two genders.
period.
That wouldn't have been signed. That was the first one that gave me the Holy Ghost. I couldn't wait for him to sign that one.
That's right.
Yeah,
Here we go. Here's the executive order.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
and then I'm done, y'all. I'm done after this. So, defending women from gender ideology extreme. This is one of the first ones he did on January 20th that you're talking about, Rod.
Go Trump.
Defending women from gender ideology extremism and restoring biological truth to the federal government. This order recognizes two sexes, male and female, and mandates that the federal government assert biological distinctions between men and women and refer to individuals by their quote unquote sex instead of their gender identity. It further prohibits the use of federal funds to promote gender ideology because under Biden Harris, we know that there were laws instated, there was money, so much money given, right?
Don't leave your boy Obama out.
And you're right.
Yeah, he was a pink flag swinging mofo. That was in the military.
Right, but that opened the door for it.
Yeah, but that was so that they can put cross dressers on the front line so he can wear a skirt and a machine gun. I guess his balls needed some more air.
I didn't know they was actually so if you're a man and you wanted to be a woman in the service, you could put on a dress and all that.
At first you couldn't until they did that, until they passed that don't ask, don't tell. That's how you end up with a cross dress in general. I know you've seen the cross dress in general.
To me, that's the best executive order he did. Okay. Come now.
Yeah, I'm not really mad at that because I know, like, even as just as a woman, and seeing this evolution of people getting their bodies changed and changing their sex to another whatever, all of this rhetoric around, oh, men get periods, and all of it is diabolical. Okay, so
Crazy.
Them suckers was melting putting ice up in they pink ice pops up in they. I don't know what these people call it. Now they got a period.
yeah, it's
No, I'm that
crazy.
old. God,
It's
today. I
crazy,
mean, are you
and
serious?
and like even down to like women's sports and women's spaces, even the bathroom, all of those things, you know what I mean? Those things are sacred
So
spaces, and when they
disrespectful.
are being invaded, it is really a problem. So I am glad that he's shutting that down,
Me
because
too.
I
Me
always
too.
bring it up all the time because I used to do professional cheer and dance, semi-pro, all of that. And even auditioning for those NBA and pro teams, it used to be hard just competing against the other girls, the other races, the girls. And now we got a man that's coming in with his wig on and all. No, baby.
Yeah,
No,
that's
baby.
ridiculous. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
but the only part I didn't like was he told them now, because me and Dulcie was talking about this, and they can use X. Why X? When you know
Well,
that they
no, not X is on their IDs, but they're actually getting their passports back, and passports are going to have their actual born gender. So they're getting their
what you say,
passports back
Dulcie,
in
say
their
it again. The
uh
passport.
it,
What?
yeah, they were talking about X being on IDs, but they're actually getting their passports back, and it doesn't matter if they had a sex change or anything, they're getting their passports back and it's their original birth sex. So it doesn't
Wow.
there it's gonna say male if you were born male, it's gonna say W if you were born a woman. And you can't get that changed. So before they would let you go as far as to change your birth certificate. So no, you
yeah.
can't do those things anymore.
That is wow. They literally let them change their birth certificates.
Freedom, I thought you knew this. That's
Wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
they've
Y'all,
been doing that.
I didn't know that about the birth
And
certificate.
that's why they going up. They're upset because they, now like even if when you go to jail, baby, no, you're not going to be able to change your stuff. I can't even believe that it was funding going to that.
Yes, they said that
Allowing people to
tax
do
money
that.
was going to them being able to do sex changes, and Trump said, "No, we're not doing that no more."
And they
And
The
sent
then,
government,
them
look,
back
and,
to the prison that they're supposed to be at.
right?
the,
'Cause
the
wait a
gov,
minute, they was going to the prisons getting the girls pregnant. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
look,
it got to
the
be stopped.
government shouldn't have to pay to support the pacifier to support your mental illness.
Yes.
Oh, go off, Ron Hayes.
Because all that shit is mental illness.
Mm.
Yep, and they're going back to researching and calling it a mental illness and everything. And I would say because if you actually go to the federal registrar where these executive orders actually are in full, there's nothing that really shuts down DEI the way they're saying it. They do that to kind of trigger you as far as to use that language like, oh, he's trying to shut down DEI. It's actually saying bringing back merit based professionalism and it based on your merit. So when you read it, that's what it's saying. Like it shouldn't be based on religion. It shouldn't be based on sex. It shouldn't be based on race. It should be based on your merit as far as for any position or anything.
Right.
So I like that one. But my favorite is actually ending radical indoctrination from K to 12. And I think that's like his best executive order so far when it comes to education.
You
And if
mean
you
they ain't gonna be able to let drag queens come in and influence the children to be drag queens?
exactly, that's one of them, but also they're not going to be able to go about American history and make American history just be about white supremacy and all this other BS that they try to make American history about. And they're going to actually have to be truthful. What? Truthful about what actually went down in history. And that's all in the executive order.
Wow.
You know what's interesting is that they were down there at the Kennedy Center or somewhere around that area protesting because now he's the chair.
Before they emerge. That's all under COINTELPRO. Release them files. You want to release something? They released a lot of them under the Freedom of Information Act, but it's a lot of them that's heavily redacted, and there's a lot of them that just They just haven't released them because nobody ain't told them to do it yet.
I don't think those records would ever be released though.
They will. They
You think
have to.
so?
They have to.
You have faith in that?
They have to release them. They got because all of this, everything that was part of this war effort. When we talk about, we've been at war for 500 years, and the war has evolved, but the people don't know they still in a state of war. So they going about their day-to-day business in the police state thinking this is normal. But that's because nobody don't know that before the 1800s, there wasn't no prisons over here. The first prison was built in Pennsylvania in like 1870 something.
They were like camps, right? Raw Hayes, like
They were,
little.
no, the first prison, it was built by Quakers. And they originally created for the Quaker community, and then the government took it and ran with it.
Mm.
What they called in slavery was we was being confined to the family farm and nobody was allowed to leave. Then they took Big Mama name off the house and called it the big house. Like we not gonna know that we needed to picket porches, wrap around picket porches for the babies. That's why they call us porch monkeys. All the babies we didn't have no cribs, no playpens, I mean. When they take them out the crib and they want to crawl around, they gonna crawl around on the floor in the house. Or in the summertime, when everybody outside, they bring the babies outside and put them under the shade of the wraparound porch. Now they can crawl around all they want on the porch. They ain't going out in the yard. But we, by us being so far removed from what we used to do, we can't even see how what we used to do was weaponized against us and used as tools of oppression. Everything that we did was either monetized, villainized, or flat out made illegal.
I think he wants to release the files because I know, like, it's sad too because people not even talking about his assassination attempt anymore. And I think that I think him trying to release these files will also show, like, obviously some governments who play here with MLK, RFK, and JFK. But then maybe we can get the understanding that it was some governments who play and trying to take him out too. So I just think
history. Right now, it was the corporate government was fighting the republic government. That's what the deep state versus the people of the republic was about. They're going backwards. We came in, we started off tribal common law jurisdiction. Then we ended up under the 1776 order of the Republic that overthrew the Continental Congress and it overthrew the Iroquois Confederacy and the Cherokee Confederacies. So all of those was merged into the United States Corporation like we agreed to it, but they knew we didn't because they wrote about it. They waged war on us. They even got where the government was putting bounties on us, but we think they're talking about somebody other than us.
I just wanted to ask Sharice something. Sharice, was you trying to say that you think that he was doing those assassination attempt situations so he can be something like MLK and?
Oh no, I don't think that he had anything to do with it.
No, not have anything. I'm saying, but you think he's trying to do in like some comparison or something like that?
Sure. I mean, because I think what happens is a lot of times is that we don't realize how much the government be at play with a lot of corrupt bullshit. Even before we was all born, some of us, was born. Mm-hmm. So that's.
Did y'all see the Hadassah complaint where she came out to say there's someone that's already exposing the assassination